Today we're looking at Leetcode 507, perfect number. Question, we define the perfect number is a positive integer that is equal to the sum of all its positive divisor except itself, now given an integer. Write a function that returns true when it's a perfect number and false when it's not. So 28 is a perfect number because its divisors 1, 2, 4, 7, 14 add up to 28 itself. Okay, okay, Amazon, this is Amazon question, looks like. Okay, if you think about it, it's not very hard to solve this problem. Basically, you can just like check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way to 28 and check if all those numbers can divide 28. If it is, you add that into the divisor list and you kind of just sum all your divisors together and check whether it's equal to 28. So if you do that, and if you run your code and if you submit your submission, it's gonna exceed the runtime. Okay, so basically the problem asks you to find a solution that is better than the brute force solution. So the solution would be only not checking all the numbers, but only check the square roots of the numbers. Why we can check only the square roots of the number? It's because, for example, if you check whether 1 can divide 28, of course, so you add 1 to your eligible divisor list. 28 cannot be added into it because here it says that equal to the sum of all its positive divisor except itself. So 28 is not in the eligible divisor list. And you check 2. 2 can divide 28 because 2 times 14 is 28. So if you check 2, you can add both 2 and 14 to the eligible divisor list. And 3 cannot divide 28, so we skip that. 4 can divide 28 because 4 times 7 is 28. So when you check 4, you can add 4 and 7 into the eligible divisor list. And 5 cannot divide 28, 6 cannot, and 7 can, and because 7 times 4 is 28. But because we already add 7 when we check whether 4 is a divisor. So can you see that we only need to check like the square root of 28? We don't have to check all the numbers at the back. So that saves us some time complexity. The reason why we check the square root of number is because, well, think about it, like divisors is basically a number times another number, right? For example, if your input is 25, then you check 1, and check 2, and check 3, and check 4, and check 5, and 5 times 5 is 25. And from 5, like from 6 all the way till 25, you don't have to check them because you already checked them in the first 5 numbers, right? Okay, let's just code it up and hopefully you can better understand it. First of all, we handle some corner cases. It has to be a positive integer. So if it's a negative integer or if it's 0, we should return false. Equal to 0, return false. Okay, and now let's write a for loop for I in range I till let's actually initialize our result to 0, and let's have a variable called high, which is the mass